Now, Donnie, here's probably going to be your favorite part about the show. Let's take it away to Sydney and West Coast because the Swans give a huge win over and they seemingly prove themselves. I mean, this Vic media has been kind of disrespecting them all season, quite frankly. And the last couple rounds, maybe they play a really tough game against Port, they lose, but they still are able to get some respect off of that. Then they go and they take on a top eight team, and they beat them by 92 points. This team is a legit finals team. And, I mean, Buddy Franklin, fantastic like usual. Another 3-goal game here. He's now third in the AFL in average goals per game with 2.9 behind Taylor Walker, who has 2.9, and Harry Mackay that has 3.1. He would be a little bit closer. I go to the average because, I mean, most of these guys have 15 games played, but he only has 11. So total goals on the season might look a little different there, but he's right up there. He's been looking in prime form. And Don, you were telling me at the beginning of the season to watch out for this guy, Buddy Franklin, because I haven't been able to see him play like this, or I haven't been able to see him play. So he's been an absolute treat, and you were dead on the money with that one. So I'm super thankful for that. Then you get Justin McInnery. He becomes the 4th Sydney Rising Star winner this year. He finishes with 22 disposals. And sometimes it looked like West Coast didn't want to be there. So can we just blame that on a little bit of road game woes? I think it goes a little bit deeper than that. Of course, injuries, and maybe just they're kind of running out of steam because it's been a really tough season. And it looks like things might be coming to an end. So, couple questions. Will West Coast finish in the top 8? And is Sydney now a lock for finals?
Oh boy, two difficult questions because neither are I think easy to answer because
Mm-hmm.
not only am I trying to as balance as much as I can, but I don't know this if this West Coast team that played this game here plays the rest of the season. No, West Coast will not make the finals
Yeah.
because Gold Coast, without half their starters and a bunch of 18-year-olds, could have beat West Coast as listless a performance as this was.
Play a
I'm
VFL team
I'm, I'm
against this
being
West
honest.
Coast, man.
I'm not well, it's nothing against West Coast. It's just I can't not see what I saw. I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't hunt the footy. They didn't want the footy. As I stated a little bit, they looked like they didn't want to be there. It was
Mm-hmm.
almost like their loss earlier in the season at Cadinia Park against Geelong just up and bit them because the same thing happened. There was very little offensively going forward. I mean, Darling got loose a little bit in the first quarter, but he wasn't putting it on the scoreboard. They were inaccurate as well. That doesn't help. And Sydney, to be completely honest with you, this was their best handballing performance I've seen all season. And many media people that were watching this were enamored by this. And the ball movement was spectacular to watch. But it helps when West Coast literally gave no resistance to that at all. Yes, Sydney played a really good game. I think Sydney played very, very well. Are they a lock for the finals? Absolutely not, just because of the fact if you look at their rounds up, like I was saying earlier, they have this 4-game stretch coming back. You got to get through it at least 2-2. Okay, but you're 1-1 in the first 2 games. You get Western Bulldogs, and Sydney gets the Western Bulldogs this week, which by this performance, there's some Swans fans that are getting a little more confident that they're going to be much more competitive in this game. I think this is going to be a very good game just because the mid matchup is going to be absolutely insanely good with Liberatore, Bontempelli, and McRae against potentially Robot Parker and Kennedy. And then, as you said, Justin McInerney, not to fix you
Thank
on that
you.
one, but
Nope. Shots appreciated.
Justin
That's my
McInerney
role.
is the fourth rising star. Played incredible, and when he got moved to the halfback line, he has playing wing, so it was good to see him play well. Nick Blakey had a really, really good game for the Swans, playing much better after being demoted to the VFL for
Mm-hmm.
nearly a month because of some lackluster play previously. And to see Tom Hickey have some success against Nick Natanui was also really, really good. So I'm buoyed, Mike. I'm buoyed in confidence for this Sydney team of the finals, but I'm not gonna jump that proverbial hurdle yet,
Mm-hmm.
because when you've still got tough games, like I said, Western Bulldogs, GWS, Essendon, North Melbourne, and St. Kilda are all still on your schedule of
Yep.
these last 7 games. None of those games are going to be easy, especially considering you play the number 2 team overall, number 1 overall team in the Western Bulldogs, who are absolutely flying. You got a GWS team that I think are still fighting for the finals. They want to stay into the finals, and it's a Sydney Derby. No matter if it's played in New South Wales or not, it's always going to be tough. And plus GWS got the chocolates in the first time they played. St. Kilda's playing better. North Melbourne is not an easy team to play, so there's still some potential landmines for Sydney. So I'm not going to completely jump on their lock,
Mm-hmm.
but this definitely makes a lot of Swans fans a little more comfortable with the fact that they can make the finals, because this is a win some did not see happening. And I said this was one of the ones they needed. I thought they needed to get 2 out of 2 in this 4. They've got 1. They just need 1 of their next 2. And if they can win out on those last 5, again, still not easy,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to make the finals if they do that.
100% to that point. And like when we were looking through, sort of like 2-3 rounds ago, when we were looking through the last number of games in the season, one of the games I had circled for the Sydney team that's going to be pivotal for them making the finals or at least holding their spot is this game against West Coast. So the first test of the circle game that I have for them, they've now passed with flying colors. So that certainly is going to build a lot of confidence going into the last bit of the season. And then for West Coast, man, going to be a lot of people scratching their heads at this one.